Let's make some rolled paper flowers. Hi, and welcome back to my craft room. My name is Kelsey. I also call myself Dinosaur Mama, and today we are going to work on rolled paper flowers. If you have not made these before, they are a super great way to be introduced into the world of paper flowers. And on my blog, I have free templates for you to use so that you can get your feet wet in making rolled paper flowers. So let's get started in rolling, and I'll give you some tips and tricks on how to make these perfect. So for starters, we're gonna make 6 different rolled flowers in this video, and they're all basically the same when it comes to actually rolling them. So the video is going to be relatively short. I just wanted to show you the 6 different kinds of flowers that I have. I have actually more over on my blog. Again, that will be linked below. But this is basically how you just go about with rolling. So there are a few techniques that you can use in which you roll paper flowers. Some people like to use drills. I'm not going to go down that route. I'm just going to stick with hand rolling. But let's look on how to roll these paper flowers. Sizing, I made all of mine around 5.5 inches, and that gave me about a 2-inch around flower. Now, this isn't going to be the same for every rolled flower that you do, so my biggest suggestion to you is to just cut one and see how big it comes out. And then you can start to get an idea on your sizing, because my rolled paper flowers might be different than somebody else's blog or something that's already in Cricut Design Space. So always test out maybe with a colored paper that you don't like, just to get your sizing down pat. Now, my next suggestion is pull off all of your rolled flowers very gently. You don't want to rip your paper. So those are my 2 biggest things when it comes to sizing and to getting it off of your mat. Just be gentle. So I started with 8 different designs when I started this video, but 2 of them I scrapped. I have to go back and remake them. I just didn't like their final result. But let's start with our rolling. You're going to start with the outside of the flower. And when I first started making rolled flowers, I thought you started from the inside. So you start at the outside of the rolled flower and roll your way in. And I'm using tweezers to get mine started, and I start wrapping. You can also use a quilling tool that is excellent to help you roll it up. And then I switch over to my fingers, and I just keep that bottom piece flat as I continue to roll around all the way to the center. So as you roll around, you're gonna wanna keep it pretty tight because at the end, we'll let it loose just a little bit before we glue it down. The other thing that I suggest is using hot glue. You can use a craft glue. I have used the Bearly Arts glue because it dries relatively quickly. However, I like to use hot glue because it's almost instant in the drying. So you see I have it all rolled up. I'm gonna grab my hot glue gun here off screen. I really should move where my hot glue gun is. It's so inconvenient. But I'm putting like a dollop of hot glue over here, and then I'm securing the bottom circle on. And then I'm fanning it out and letting it loose just a little bit. You can let it loose before you glue it too. And then you just want to use your fingers to fan out your flower. So don't keep everything super bunched up to the top. You want to give it some shape with your fingers, and you're going to fan all of that out. You can also use your quilling tool or like a dowel to kind of roll the flowers out as well. But here is our first rolled flower. So now I'm gonna go through and show you the other flowers. I'm using that same technique where I start the rolling process with my tweezers, and then I use my fingers to finish, let it fan out a little bit, hot glue it, and then you have your rolled flower done. So that is how I roll my paper flowers. If you have any tips that you want to share with the craft community, don't forget to drop those in the comments below and check out the description for the link to my blog. Also, let me know which rolled flower was your favorite. I hope you love all of them. Thank you so much for joining me as we rolled some paper flowers. If you enjoyed this video, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It helps me so much. Subscribe and share with your crafty friends. That way we can continue to grow this community. If you haven't checked out my blog yet, you can find a link below to these free paper flowers where I have over 750 free SVG files for you to download. Stay crafty!